Hello and welcome to Frontkick.online. My name is Tafari and this is Kicking It with ASHAH. This is Tafari from Frontkick.online and I am here with one of Sweden's absolute hottest MMA prospects, Josefine Thunder Knutsson. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
You are fighting in UAE Warriors in Abu Dhabi, 25 of February.
Yes.
You're facing Jacinta Austin from Australia. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about this upcoming matchup?
I'm ready for this fight, and yeah, it's gonna be a huge fight in Abu Dhabi. I've never been there before, and my opponent, she is also like almost the same background as me. I really feel like this is a fight between us to take the place in the strawweight division.
Yeah, this is a really interesting matchup on paper, since she's the #1 ranked fighter in Australia and New Zealand. You're the #1 ranked here in Sweden.
Yeah.
You're both 4-0. You both have kickboxing backgrounds, Muay Thai backgrounds. You competed in K1.
Correct,
so your fighting styles are quite similar. Do you think this is your toughest matchup yet?
For me, this is like a test now to take that big step. And who's going to take that place, me or her. And of course, I know I'm going to win this fight. But of course, this is going to be my toughest fight so far. Yeah, the road to UFC series, you had like a showcase fight there that you won comfortably. I talked to your teammate Khamzat Chimaev afterwards, and he said like, yeah, she did great, Josefine did great, but she was supposed to finish that girl.
Yeah. She's supposed to finish that girl, but because it's like close to the UFC, you know, like get Norway and that stuff, but she did good, she did win, and she's ready for UFC, she coming for them.
How do you look back at your performance in that fight?
100% I agree with him. Of course it was a win on the paper, but it didn't feel like a win for me, like a striker. So I know that that's only up to me, and that I have to bring it out for next fight. And yeah.
Do you think that a good performance now against Austin will be that performance that puts you over the edge and give you the chance in the UFC?
Of course, like it's not only about who I'm fighting, because like I said, like I'm always critical when it comes to my performance if I feel like that I haven't brought out everything. So for me, it's like fighting against myself. But the funny thing is the girl has almost the same background as me. So it's a little bit like, yeah, like I'm fighting myself. And I know that no matter who I have in front of me, like I know what I'm capable of.
Since your opponent now has that striking background, she's a pro kickboxer, Muay Thai fighter, boxer and all that, I think your previous opponents, their go-to game plan would be to take you down. Do you think that this girl will actually want to stand and bang with you and, you know, test you in the striking department?
No, I think she wants to take me down directly, because she's not going to be able to stand my striking. So that's going to be her mission, to just like try to take me down. And that's what I always have to have in my mind, like every girl that I fight, that they just want to take me down.
Of course, you don't want to look past your opponent now, but since you feel that this is your moment to you know, break through, how do you look at the UFC strawweight division, and how do you look at you know, the top girls there and you matching up against them?
Yeah, like of course I feel like I'm in the top 10, but that doesn't mean that the girls are easy, you know. They are top 10 for a reason. I mean, they are the 10 best fighters in the world in my division. So I don't underestimate them, but I can't make mistakes when I fight them. But I still think that I am qualified to be in the top 10.
Yeah. And I mean, in dream scenario, I guess, would be, since I believe the UFC are looking to coming to Sweden sometime, maybe in the summer time frame where they used to come yearly before. Would that be the ideal scenario for you, to get a win here in impressive fashion, maybe get a viral moment, and then get the chance to compete in Stockholm? You
know, to do my first UFC or do my UFC debut in Sweden, that would be like a dream itself, you know. Not only to be like in the UFC, that's huge, you know, but also in my country, that's, you know, that would be amazing, really, really. So I hope so, and I hope that they listen to Khamzat. He's trying to bring UFC to Sweden.
You have a good hype man there.
Yeah, exactly. So we will see.
Talk to me about the training. You have a brand new training center. Allstars is now quite massive facility there. And you have obviously, you know, a really good team around you. How are your training going, and how does it feel to have this new gym and, you know, good circumstances around you here in Sweden?
Yeah, like we have a much bigger gym now, and it's, for me, it feels more like an elite gym. It's like it's huge, and we have like huge cage and ring, and we have totally different equipment in the gyms, and everything is like adapted. Even if you are a beginner, like you can start with the best equipment already from the beginning of your training. And that's exactly what we athletes need in our training. And it's only going to get better and better. So like what you see in the new gym right now is only the beginning, and it's already like 100 times better.
And how much do you like train a week? Because I've been talking to Alexander Gustafsson. He's been saying like there's literally no one I've seen working as hard as this girl. Andreas Michael, Sanja, your coaches. You know, how does a normal fight not fight week but a week preparing for a fight look for you?
Like I always train 2 times a day, and when I have fight, I train like sometimes I can train 3 hours in the nighttime or in the morning time. So like, but never less than 2 hours in the morning and in the evening.
Yeah.
And I train like 6 days a week. So
at this point, you're well known here in Sweden. As I said, you're #1 ranked in the weight class. You're constantly listed as, you know, one of these top prospects here. But now that you're starting to get more international recognition, I think, you know, you're getting new fans every fight, and some of them maybe they haven't followed you for that long. Like, can you just explain a little bit about your background, because you were already a very high level striker before switching over to MMA?
Yeah. Like I've been fighting in Muay Thai and kickboxing or K1 for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
And I mean that is my background. I was in the national team in Sweden, and I won the Swedish gold medal 3 years in a row. And I competed in 2 world championships. The first one I didn't get the gold, I got the bronze, and then I got the gold the year after.
Yeah.
So I mean that really affected me in like taking like to keep my journey, you know.
Yeah.
And like my heart is always going to be in Muay Thai, because that's where I came from. And I also been fighting in K1, like outside Europe in Japan, and that was something that really made me come into the professional more and more, to fight like literally like the best in that side of the world, and in that kind of rules, you know. So
you were the runner-up in the historic Grand Prix that K1 had, in the first women's Grand Prix. Talk to me about that experience.
Yeah, it was really cool to be a part of that. The first historical women's like title fight in K1. For me, I think that they should have it more often. I mean, but it's still good that they started to have it, you know, because we are a lot of women in that high class, and they should like, I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't have that kind of tournaments or title fights. And I was fighting the Japanese girl, and also there were a girl from Holland and a girl from Spain. We were all 4 in this tournament. I won the first fight in the tournament against the Holland girl. And then there were like 2 fights in one day. And then the second fight, I lost against the Japanese girl. But
quite a controversial decision, right?
Yeah, I like, me and my team didn't think like we lost, because we had like all 3 rounds, and then they like extended it to another round. And even if they extended it to another round, it was nothing special from her side. So I mean, I was a little bit disappointed, and even if I feel like I should have that fight, you know, that should be my title belt. I was disappointed, like, you know, it's still disappointing. You know, like I should finish her instead, like never leave it to the judge. So that, but that also, if you're gonna see it from the good side, that was a good experience for me, like how it is to fight outside Europe. Like you really have to step forward, and you can never leave anything up to the judge to decide.
Yeah. And from there, you kind of started to focus more on your MMA journey.
Yeah.
Obviously, your amateur debut for those who maybe saw that fight with complete domination, and right away quite tough competition against the IMMAF silver medalist Nina Buck, and then you know, moving on to Fight Club Russia and your first few pro fights there, with total domination each time. The last performance, as you said, you have some things to work on and implement better. What do you take away from that, and what will you like take with you into this fight, 25 of February?
Like just to let go more and just be myself even more in the fight. Like I can't give you an explanation like why I didn't do that before, you know, but I know that I have it inside me, and I know that I can bring it out. So that's just what I'm gonna do. You know, it's gonna come naturally, and I really trust that process. I really do. And because I've been thinking a lot about it, and I know like if I'm gonna take that step up and closer to UFC, that's what I have to do, you know. So yeah, I trust the process, and I keep training hard like every day, and stay focused and listen and trust to my coaches, you know, because we are a team. And yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, coming from Allstars and having all these UFC fighters around you, what does that make? Like, is it does that give you some extra fuel to actually see that you know you have Khamzat Chimaev making it to this huge stardom, Alexander Gustafsson paving the way, Guram obviously we all know that he has a lot to bring to the table. What does it mean for you to be surrounded around all these high-level fighters?
I mean, that means a lot to me, you know, because these guys are like my inspiration, you know, and it's not only by results or performance, you know. Okay, they came a far way because they achieved their goals, and they are now in the biggest organization in the world, you know. But also when you train with them side by side, you get to know them more in person, and you understand that they have these qualities that it takes to be on that level, you know, not only physical but in the mental game too.
And obviously you see all the hard work that led them there.
Yeah. You know, just to train side by side with them, that's like, I feel honored by it, and I want to take that opportunity and make the best of it. And when you feel that every day, you know, I think you are really on a good way to become yourself one day a champion.
Looking at that, this upcoming fight, what do you expect the fight to look like, and what are you looking to deliver in the cage on the 25th of February?
For me, it's all about my striking, you know. Of course, I have to have the whole MMA game. I trust my MMA game. I trust my grappling and ground game, my defense, my takedowns, all this. But for me, I'm a striker, and that's what I'm going to show people and show my opponent. Like, this is where I come from, you know. Yeah. So they can expect to see a lot of striking. I'm not going to tell you too much, but it's going to be a hell of a fight from first round.
And this is the year, do we feel it is the UFC contract next?
Yeah, I hope so. I can feel it's really close. I hope so, yeah.
Well, UFC, take a look, 25th of February. Josefine, good luck in your upcoming fight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sitting down with me.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.